What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the World Sports Podcast. I'm your boy John, along with my best buddies, man, Eddie and Braxton. How y'all doing today, fellas?
They caught me off guard, bro. I'm feeling good, bro.
Yeah, I'm feeling good too, man. Happy to be here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's always good to talk sports, man. We're gonna start this show off like we always do. Get a little reaction to the Monday Night Football game that happened on last night, man. Dolphins and Steelers. What were y'all thoughts on that game as y'all watched?
The Steelers, keep hope alive, man, for their playoff hopes and races. I ain't really expect too much out of the Dolphins at this point because I don't know what they gonna do with Tua in the future because I don't think he their franchise quarterback anymore. Even though we know they are paying him, I think it's time to move for different direction because at this point, like, it's nothing else that you seen Tua do that you can expect. So I feel like you just seen it all, and the guy that's go get you there. And with the Steelers, I feel like they just handle business and just just doing what they got doing and fighting for Tomlin. So I want Tomlin to stay. So I want them to keep winning. It's just enough what he can stay because it's not on him, in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely felt like the Steelers played a good game, and it's when it comes to Tua in this type of game and inclement weather, I feel like he's always had like struggles in cold weather games, and I feel like the Steelers, though, I feel like they kind of managed him well. Like they kind of knew what things to take away. And I gotta say, Aaron Rodgers, a lot of things people like to make a lot of critiques on him, but I feel like he played a good game and he had a couple of good balls in this game. So I gotta give him credit in this one for sure. And I don't know what their ceiling is moving forward, but I know that that defense can help them in a big way. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do in the playoffs, possibly.
Yeah, man. Eddie, I agree with you, dog. Tua is not the quarterback that's going to get Miami over the hump. We've seen that he has historically played bad in cold weather games. Coming into the season, they started off bad. They kind of found their rhythm. I think they won like 4 in a row. Got back to I wouldn't say playoff contention, but they got back in the hunt of things. And so this game last night was a big game for them, and it just didn't pan out the way that they wanted it to. Tua came up short again in the cold weather game. They have been running the ball better since they've been on this winning streak, but the Steelers took that out completely last night. And like Brax said, man, Aaron Rodgers made some good balls. I like that touchdown pass he made to Valdez-Scantling. He had some good balls to DK in there as well. So I think Aaron Rodgers is going to do what he has to do on the offensive side of the ball for the Steelers. It's just going to be up to the defense and what the defense can do for them. If the defense plays like the Steelers defense that we're accustomed to seeing over the years, then I feel like they could possibly win a playoff game. They can make it tough on somebody in the first round. But, the defense hasn't been playing up to its standard. When we seen them give up 200 yards rushing against the Bills the previous week, but they played well against Miami. Last night they took away the run, which Miami wanted to get established. So if they could do that each and every week coming into the game, I think that they could potentially be a dark horse to knock off somebody in the first round. I don't see them going further than the first round, but I think they could get a playoff win.
Yeah, I'd agree with that for sure.
All right, man. Moving on, man. The Bills pulled off an impressive comeback down 21-0 to the Patriots on Sunday, man, to come back and win 35-31 in Foxborough, man. What was y'all thoughts on that game as y'all either watched or seen from afar?
I'll go before Brax give his thoughts on his favorite quarterback in the league. I just at the start of the game I was feeling like it was happening too fast. It was 21-0, and Josh Allen, he wasn't playing his best game at this point, but I didn't think that the Patriots would hold that type of play up the whole game against them. But like it's always with Josh Allen, he always fighting back at the end. Even when his late start. So I didn't expect like a blowout, but I was disappointed in the Patriots, like in a way that they let him come back. But Josh Allen, he is a handful, man, and he a lot when you get to running and all this his caliber that we are accustomed to seeing. I don't think he's an MVP this year. I think Drake May still got him got him ahead in that aspect. But he did show that why he is top 5 QB. So I wasn't really surprised at the outcome. I was disappointed in the New England Patriots.
Yeah, I would say definitely in this game. When I first was looking at it, I was kind of concerned, just simply off the fact of, the 21-0 lead and that the Patriots had gotten. I thought, I didn't think the Bills would come out like this, considering how badly they needed this game as far as if they wanted to win the division and stuff like that. Uh, but I will say this was a typical big brother playing little brother in this game. Like, I felt like they they didn't let them go ahead, but they was like, okay, the Patriots up, but they never felt like they were out of it, in my opinion. Like, I feel like this is the difference between like Drake May being your quarterback and Josh Allen being your quarterback. You always know you have a fighting chance to win the game in the end. And I feel like when they got to that point where it was like neck and neck, right, and they got the touchdown to go ahead, like I never felt like the Bills were just not going to respond and get the touchdown, like just to answer back. And I think my feelings in that is literally just the difference in quarterbacks. So Drake May, I feel like he has to be able to beat these top tier quarterbacks, and last time he was able to do it in Buffalo, but this time he just wasn't successful. And sometimes the great players just step up, and I feel like that's what happened in that game.
Yeah, man. I didn't really watch much of the game because I was on the road working for a little bit Sunday. But I had money on the Bills. They was in my parlay, and so I'm checking the scores, man. I'm like looking early. I'm like, man, they down 21. I'm like, man, this can't be real. Like everything else is looking good, man. So I'm like, man, this can't be real. And then as I just kept watching the scores, man, I seen them making a comeback. I'm like, yes, yes, yes. And so I looked at the highlights later on when I got home, bro, and like Bragg said, it was a classic big brother, little brother game. It showed that one team has an MVP, and it showed that the other team has a quarterback who has a future of being an MVP, but he's just not there yet. So that's really what I took away from it. I'm also kind of concerned as to the role that Stephon Diggs is playing in Buffalo. I mean, not Buffalo, New England's offense, because he just hasn't been getting the same amount of looks that he had early in the season. Like we remember when they played in Buffalo that first game, and he basically like took over the game himself. And then on Sunday they barely even went to him. So I'm kind of concerned from that aspect as to what's going on in New England with him. But like Bragg said, I can't agree more, man. It was just a big brother, little brother game, and Josh Allen took over when he needed it, and he knew that was a pivotal game for them as far as winning the division and trying to make a push to the playoffs. So I was impressed by them in that aspect.
I got a question. Do y'all? Oh, go ahead.
With the Diggs comment, I think the first game, I think it was more so emotional, bro. Like him being back in Buffalo, I feel like he always got to prove himself. Like that's why y'all should have kept me. So that's why I think like he went crazy in that game, and like he has the other games that he like we seen like the glimpses of the old Stephon Diggs. But I just think like in that offense, I still don't think they have like a clear number one, and when they try like to force him the ball, like he's used to, like at least 8 targets a game, like that's normal wide receiver one status. But I also think they have to do that to win games, So that's my
opinion. Yeah, and that just goes back to like me trying to understand his role, because his production has dropped. It hasn't even just been this game. It's been the past couple games where he just hasn't been getting the ball. So like you said, but maybe they don't need him to be that type of player to win games, and so maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. Do you in this like matchup between the two of these teams, who do y'all give the edge if they were to meet up, or if it was to go to like a playoff type game?
I would say if the Bills play defense like they played in that second half of that game, I'm gonna give it to the Bills, just because it's hard to stop Josh Allen, and when that running game gets going, it's hard to stop James Cook as well. But I honestly, it could be a toss-up because both of these teams have had great performances against each other when they played each other 2 times this year. So I would say it's a toss-up.
For me, they always say it's hard to beat a team twice, and even at this team, they 1-1 for the at being a division game. So I feel like if they play again in the playoffs, depend on where they play. But if I had to choose, just knowing Josh Allen history in the playoffs, I would go with Drake May. I think he has something to prove, and that's what he needs to do to take the next step in his career. Be a caliber quarterback like Josh Allen. And I think he has a team around him right now to do it. So I think this is probably his best chance.
I got another question. How much pressure do y'all feel like is on Josh Allen to make it to the Super Bowl this year, being that, this is probably his best chance at getting there with no Lamar, looking like no Lamar is going to be in the playoffs, no Joe Burrow, and we know no Patrick Mahomes.
I think this is, like his eyes are wide open. If he'll get it done this year, then I feel like the door is closing in on him for sure. Like the only team he got to worry about is the Texas defense. So I feel like that's the only team he's really looking at and he's scared of. But he don't got the other guys that he accustomed to seeing every year. So I think he's like, this is do or die. Like right now is time.
Yeah, if there was a time more than ever, it was this year. I mean, like you got basically none of your heavy hitters in high positions, and if you do play them, they're gonna come to your house. So I mean, I think this is the year that he's got to do it, and I think he like I said, he just got to get it done this year, personally.
No, he do not have to get it done.
Well, he don't have to get it done. He don't have to get it done. But I'm saying, in his eyes, he's got to be thinking like, this is my year for sure.
I agree, man. I agree. But hey, man, who getting shucked tonight? Yeah, man, my Saints get their second straight upset win over the Carolina Panthers on Sunday, man. I told y'all, man, I was working during the day on Sunday, but I made it home. I made sure I made it home to watch that. Yeah, I made sure, man. But what was y'all thoughts, man? Bryce, I'm gonna let you go first for this one. What was your thoughts, man, watching that game? Whether you was at home or at work, man, watching it from the studio, man, what was your thoughts?
Yeah, I felt like Tyler Shuck. It's fitting that you started the topic with that, because I feel like he's giving New Orleans hope. I feel like, look at you, man. You smiling over there, man. Like it's just, I don't know. It's just a different air in New Orleans right now, and I feel like Tyler Shuck has brought that energy to New Orleans, and I think personally he's definitely a quarterback who y'all could build on. And moving forward, I think if y'all allow him to develop in the right ways, I feel like he can definitely be the guy moving forward. I heard somebody say, that 6 that he wears is just an upside down 9. I say, all right, let's stop. But I do think he's definitely got all the tangible things that a quarterback needs. He can use his legs, he can use his arm, and in that fourth quarter, just having the confidence to go to Olave on that drive, like considering he had just dropped one, like that's the type of stuff. Quarterbacks having faith in their receivers, stuff like that. That's what you want to see out of a quarterback. And y'all made a kicking change. And Charlie Smith, man, he been showing up, man, kicking game-winning field goals. That stuff right there that you want to see. So shout out to y'all, man. That was a big win for sure.
I don't know if y'all want me to go, but in order to keep the peace of the podcast, man, on today, I'm just gonna say happy. I'm happy for John and his Saints that he got to win. I didn't, I would never put the Saints on unless they play the Texans, but I did peep a couple plays when they was in the red zone. Shout out to the Saints, I guess. They finally got them a dub. Everybody can't go 6 straight like my Texans, but a win for this week is good for John. That means it's good vibes on the pod, man. Especially a little extra juice on. Happy for John and the Saints, I guess.
Hey, bro, I've never seen a hater as much as Eddie, bro. I've never seen it. He refuses to say anything good about my quarterback after he's seen what my quarterback has done. Him and Jaden Daniels, Tyler Shuck, I'm talking about, the only 2 quarterbacks I think in the last 40 years to lead their team in double-digit comeback wins in the last 40 years, back-to-back weeks. So man, Shuck doing this thing, bro. We started out the year, and I was a rad guy. I was a rad guy because I feel like he deserved his opportunity, especially with the new coaching staff. And the last season when he got thrust into that role, it wasn't really that good for him. He just kind of got thrown in there with the Wolves when Derek Carr got hurt, and it wasn't good. So I was advocating for his opportunity to show that he's a starting quarterback. And while he didn't play bad at all, his performances just weren't leading to wins. And so I kind of when they made the change, I had some buddies, that were upset that they were making the change, but I kind of seen it through. I knew once they drafted Tyler Shuck that Riley was going to get his chance, but if it wasn't equating to wins, that Tyler Shuck was going to get thrown in there. And I had some buddies that were mad, but I bet you they not mad now. I bet you that, because Tyler Shuck has shown up and he's just shown that he's able to win us ball games as long as the defense keeps us in it, man. And like he's been pushing the ball down the field, something that we really didn't see from Rat. We seen the occasional deep ball from him every now and then, but Rat was more like a check down guy. Tyler Shuck's been pushing the ball down the field. He's been protecting the ball relatively well. He's had his mistakes every now and then. He's still not as accurate as I would like to see him, but he's been protecting the ball, using his legs. That's his hidden trait, like Brax talked about. I don't think when you look at him, you don't really strike him as a guy that can use his legs and extend plays, but it's there. So I like that aspect of it. And defense playing well, man. If we could build around him, with possibly some more receivers and get some more fresh running backs in there, I think that we'll be good as far as with the future goals. I think these are the type of wins that we could build off of, and maybe turn that into something else, going down the line next season. So I'm excited to see what the Saints got, man. I know I'm going on and on, but I'm just so excited to see about my Saints, man. And shout out to Devon Vele, man. He's been showing up real big for us these past couple of weeks. That looks like a great trade from the Broncos. And my rant here is done, man.
I mean, I was just gonna say, John, you were saying Devon Vele was a poor. Not you ain't say a poor man. You said he looked like Marcus Colston out there. So I mean, shout out to Vele, man.
I've seen flashes, man. I've seen flashes, bro. Like he go up, get the ball. He's a great possession receiver. Like he ain't gonna burn you with his speed. But when you need to pick up that first down, he's a big, reliable target, man. So I've seen flashes of Colston in there for sure.
Oh, I remember my question. Is Kamara a part of y'all future, or y'all gonna let him go?
I don't think they're gonna let him go. I think if they would have let him go, they would have did that, when his name was hot in trade discussions this year and the previous years. He's already told, the front office that he don't want to get traded. If he does get traded, he already stated that he just gonna go ahead and retire. He stated that on numerous occasions that the Saints are the only team that he wants to play for. And he hasn't looked like the Alvin Kamara old, but I still feel like he got some juice left in the tank. It's just you got to find different ways to using him. Like if I look at Alvin Kamara, right, in the early years, he was best when they got him on the outside and got him, use the speed to get out on the outside or use screen plays, this, that, and the third. But like recently, he's becoming a primary back, so they're using him in a lot of runs up the middle and runs between the tackles, and that ain't really what he was. Coming into the year, they don't really even use his pass catching ability like they used in the past, and that's really where he got his bread and butter. So I feel like he got some juice left in the tank. It's just all comes down to how they gonna use him moving forward.
Honestly, I feel like it's time for him to kind of get a new home. I feel like they kind of started leaning into the younger backs, and I think I don't know. I feel like I want to see him playing in like championship, not basketball, championship like football, like in a competitive team. But honestly, I don't know. I feel like he lost a step a little bit, just a little bit, not a lot, but just a little bit.
He's definitely not the same player that he used to be. Not because he used to be up there with the Christian McCaffreys of the world, the Saquon Barkley of the world, and he just ain't that anymore. And I feel like some of that has to do with the way they're using him, but some of that has to probably do with age. And right now, he ain't playing because he's dealing with injuries, and Devin Neal's been making the most of his opportunities. So I don't know. We'll see. I think the more interesting question, because I don't really think that the Saints gonna give away Alvin Kamara just because he's the face of the franchise. We kind of seen that happen with Cam Jordan. Like Cam Jordan spent his whole career there, and even as he got older, his name was brought up in trade discussions, and they never really let him go. I don't think they're gonna do that with Kamara. They kind of loyal to their players a little bit, but my biggest question is what they gonna do with Kendrick Miller, being that Devin Neal has come up on the scene because Kendrick Miller, he's a nice back. He got some explosiveness to him, but he just can't stay healthy. Now you got, Devin Neal coming up on the scene. It's gonna be interesting to see how they move forward with that for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, moving on though, man. Old man Rivers, 44, 5 years out the game, man. Got up off the couch and made his first start against the Seattle Seahawks on Sunday, man. What was y'all thoughts looking at that performance that he had in Seattle?
I was honestly, bro, I was a little bit surprised, bro. I didn't expect the family to come out there and just manage the game as well as he did. He wasn't throwing like no deep balls and nothing. He was throwing a lot of checkdowns, giving the ball to Jonathan Taylor, a lot of comeback routes. But he's just being an ultimate professional, bro. So I gotta give him his flowers when it's due. I didn't expect him, man. He came out there. He got a lot of experience, so that definitely helped him on Sunday. So I'm just saying that I was excited for him, happy for him. Not gonna say excited because I don't want to see the coach do good. That loss definitely helped us a little bit. So I was happy to see that, and I was after they went and got the field goal. His expression, bro. I was just happy to see that, bro. Because he was in position to win a game, and it just wasn't as fortunate for him. But it was a good showing out of him, for sure.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you on that. I feel like when I first seen him going in the game, I was like, okay, we'll see what happens. But once they scored a touchdown, I had all faith that they possibly could win that game. I mean, it was a pretty convincing drive, and it goes to show like knowledge means a lot in the NFL. And I feel like despite you being maybe under or older or maybe less athletic, you still can have a great impact on the game as long as you have an arm. And know where you should go, know the offense, and so this is why it's so important for young quarterbacks to be able to learn the game because some things is never going to leave you, and I feel like that was a perfect representation of that. Unfortunately, or fortunately, they couldn't get the win, and I was happy to see that for a Texas perspective, but I think you can't walk away from this and be like, oh, it was the worst decision ever. They was in the game, and I think that's what the coach wanted this situation, being down a quarterback. I think that's the best case scenario for you at this point in time. So.
Yeah, man. He didn't foul you with what he had going on. Like he didn't suddenly get up off the couch and become Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying? But he managed the game. Like they said, he knew the offense. He made the necessary throws to get them down the field and put points on the board. And like Breck said, I think that's what they wanted. They obviously didn't feel comfortable enough with Riley Leonard that he would be able to get that done against Seattle. So that they had to call Rivers to come play. He definitely looked like a 44-year-old that ain't played in 5 years in terms of his his weight. And he spoke about that, earlier in the week, saying, they asked him how much did he weigh, and he said, "I'll tell you one thing, I ain't the same. I don't weigh the same that I did when I stepped out the field in Buffalo 5 years ago." And so that showed up a little bit, just his weight. But I think that his arm is still live enough to make the necessary throws to keep them in the game. That's all I really took from it. They had a chance to win. Blake Grupe came up big, former Saints kicker, made 60 yards, which he couldn't even make 40 yards when he was with us. So I don't even understand how that works. But yeah, man, I think that he's going to give him a chance to compete for a playoff spot. They got the 49ers coming up this week on Monday Night Football, so we'll talk about that when the time comes. It's going to be interesting. I just fear for him because he has to go up against the Texans before this season is over. That's what I feel.
Yes, all right. We go get to him too. We go get to him too. So he better get it out fast.
So that's the only thing. That's the only thing I feel for him. But honestly, I'm just glad he got out there, didn't get hurt, kept him in the game, and honestly, that's better than most people thought what was gonna happen on Sunday. So shout out to him, bro. Moving on though. Man, these big time stars, man, went down with injuries, man. That's the worst part about this game, injuries, bro. Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL. Michael Parsons tore his ACL, and we seen Devontae Adams go down with a hamstring injury. Man, what was y'all reaction to these injuries, and how y'all feel like this will affect their teams moving forward, particularly in Michael Parsons' case and Devontae Adams case.
You know, man, I always say, bro, injury is part of the game, but it's just something you hate seeing, bro. And this happened at the worst time for Michael Parsons and Devontae Adams, bro, because they are literally top seeds in the conference, bro. So just especially Michael, bro. His first year in Green Bay, he going crazy. Green Bay is looking like a contender. That defense is playing at an all-time great level. And now it's like, dang, now what? It's like that's a huge loss for them, bro. Now they only got one side of the pass rush, and they got to make up. They got to rally and do everything else to make up for Mike, because Micah is a lot, bro. He's top 5 pass rusher we got in this league, bro. So it can't just pick and plug with him. It's gonna take a group effort. And same with Mahomes. We all know what Mahomes is, bro. And you hate to see the best player in the league go down like that, especially in that way. And he got to come back off of that. That's tough, man. Tough to see. And y'all know I'm the biggest, Chiefs and Mahomes hater, but I never want to see a person like that get hurt. So shout out to them boys, man. Hopefully a speedy recovery and that they come back, better than that for sure.
Yeah, man. This is a tough subject because, like you said, Eddie, you never want to see these players go down like this. And I feel like, once I seen, kind of, I'm talking about Mahomes first. Once I seen his injury, I really got sad because it's like this team has already been struggling, and I know this has been getting to him because he's a good quarterback, and I don't feel like many of their struggles was on him. I feel like some of the things surrounding him was the reason why they was down, and so for this season, it's already been a struggle. Now you add an even bigger trial on top of it. Like it's tough to feel bad for winners. But in this situation, you still got to feel bad because it's like, dang, bro, he did everything he could and it still didn't work out. And then Micah Parsons' case, I've seen Ryan Clark say something that I don't want to agree with, but I do feel like it had an impact. Bo Nix was moving around a lot, and I feel like Micah Parsons was having to do a lot more chasing than he usually does. And I feel like maybe that played a part in his injury. I hope for him a speedy recovery, and I know it's sad for the Packers fans. Considering this was a big trade that was going to put them at higher heights moving forward. But, it's tough to see, man. And I know, coming from the Cowboys and all that situation, I know he wanted to have a big year and wanted it to finish strong. But, unfortunately, the NFL gods had other plans, man. So, I'm wishing those guys a speedy recovery.
Yeah, man. It's just sad when you see the game's biggest stars go down in those moments. Michael Parsons, his injury from a look standpoint, it looked worse than Patrick Mahomes. It's just because the way when he planted that leg, boy, that knee buckled in, you knew it was over. He knew it was over because he was on the ground saying, I'm done. Like he knew right then and there that it was over. And Patrick Mahomes, man, you hate to see the game's biggest star go down like that. And what we now know is a meaningless season. You know what I'm saying? And you just hate to see that happen to a team like that because, in my opinion, I feel like the Chiefs are going to look much different next year. Just from a standpoint of, I feel like this is going to be Kelsey's last year, bro. Like the way he's been playing, he just don't look like he got that joy no more playing the game. He's not in it like he used to be. And if anybody can come back from an injury quickly, it's going to be Patrick Mahomes. As far as the Micah situation goes, man, the Packers, like y'all said, that's who they brought him in to be a game changer, which he has been. Their defense looked amazing with him at the helm, closing out games. They brought him in to make a Super Bowl push, and now they're kind of back to like normalcy. Without him, they're back to being that same team, and it kind of hampers their. I feel like it kind of hampers their Super Bowl chances a little bit because, not only did he go down, but they lost some injuries on the offensive side as well along the way. And so, I feel like they're gonna still be a good team in the playoffs, but I don't have that same energy towards them as far as making a Super Bowl without Michael because Michael wrecks the game single-handedly and he frees it up for other guys, and now you lost that, and so now it's gonna make your defense a little bit more neutralized. And as far as Devontae Adams goes, he went down with a hamstring injury. I don't think it's as bad as these other two guys, but as for me, I would just sit him for the rest of the regular season and get him ready to go for this playoff push that we're about to go. Because I think, honestly, he's a big time player. He's a red zone threat. But I feel like the Rams could still win games without him and try to get him healthy to make this playoff push in the coming months. So, yeah, it's just sad to see. You don't never want to see these type of injuries happen, especially not at this point in the season when you're so close to chasing that glory.
Yeah.
But, man, we about to take a quick break, man. When we come back, we're going to talk about NFL awards, man. Who are our MVPs, Offensive Player of the Year, and Defensive Player of the Year. And we're going to talk a little college football transfer portal, man. You don't want to miss it. We're going to be back. Welcome to the World of Sports. Keep it locked right here.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the World of Sports podcast, man. We mostly done with the NFL season, so you know what time it is, man. It's time to start picking out some awards. And let's get right to it, man. So let's talk about it. Who y'all think should be the MVP? I'm gonna start with my prediction, or who I think should win the MVP. Y'all know I'm not gonna be biased, but I'm gonna pick Josh Allen in this situation because I feel like throughout this season he's always found a way to get the team where they need to be. And despite, a slow start, I feel like he's still not a slow start, but like despite not starting the way that they wanted to, I feel like they still have gotten to a point where they're really right where they need to be as far as ending the season. And, the numbers have been there despite, some struggles and some tough losses, but I feel like he's played well enough, and I don't think just because he won last year, you should take that away from him and say he can't win it this year. So I'm gonna throw him in the hat. Who y'all think should be the MVP though?
Take him out the
hat. Man, I'm gonna go with Matthew Stafford, bro. He's been balling. He's probably having one of his best seasons of his career so far, if not the best season. He got the Rams right up there, number one seed in the NFC, bro. Got all his receivers playing good ball. The offense looks virtually unstoppable. The way they handled the Lions on Sunday, man. And so he's just been playing great ball. So I'm going to go with Matthew Stafford as my MVP for this year.
That would be my pick as well. But I think another candidate we have is Drake May. Drake May, he's, second year. We expected, no, it's third year.
His second.
Yes. So we are, used to having, seeing these sophomore slumps, but, he didn't give us one. So shout out to him for, coming in and taking the next step and not going backwards. So Drake May, he's definitely had a great year. Hopefully that he continues his play and, they can make a real push in the playoffs because I definitely think that they have what it takes to beat the team in the playoffs unless they play the Texans, which they matched up with right now. So hopefully they find another matchup so they can get past the first round. That's a good three candidates for the MVP, man.
All right. I like y'all picks. So let's move on. We got the Offensive Player of the Year. And, I'm going to switch it up in this one. I honestly feel like Puka Nacua is having a great season this year, man. Every game that they have, it seems like he's having 90-plus yards and multiple catches, doing what he needs to do and filling up the slack, which is something that he's going to have to do for a while now with, Devontae Adams having the injury he has. So I think you could put his name in the hat as far as Offensive Player of the Year because, that's the type of stuff you want to see, consistency. Not what you do on 1 week, but what you do on multiple weeks and staying consistent throughout the year. So I'm going to give him that nod. Who y'all giving?
Yeah, man, shout out to Puka, bro, because he definitely been keeping my fans team alive. Even though we 6-8, we moving on to the second round of playoffs. So shout out to him, bro, because he played a large part in that. But man, another player on another fantasy team that I have, he started the year piping hot when the Colts were rolling. Man, Jonathan Taylor is definitely a candidate for Offensive Player of the Year. He's been running the ball with some authority this year, especially when the Colts were rolling. He kind of slacked off a little bit in these latter weeks because of the injury to Daniel Jones and the offense not being the same. And everybody's focused on him, but definitely a shout out to him. And I definitely think that he's a candidate for Offensive Player of the Year for sure.
Yeah, for sure, bro. My candidates, one of my guys, one of my Ohio State alum with JSN, bro. After seeing what he did his rookie year, I wasn't surprised. Some of these guys were surprised the way he performed, but I knew how the caliber he can play and what he is playing at, and he took another step this year as well that Drake made. So, this year he came out the gate booming. You know, he coming out having these crazy yards, all these great catches, man. So, he just taking the next step, bro. Now, I'm just happy to see it from him because they got a lot of guys over there, especially on that Seahawks team, and he's definitely a young leader on that team now. So he has a lot of rank over there. So I just want him to keep up this play, bro, because it's looking good and doing for him. So he got a good shot, I think, and win a OP.
I like that pick as well. He's definitely been lighting it up. So I got to give credit to them, even though, sometimes I don't want to give credit to some of the Ohio State guys.
Right.
But moving forward, Defensive Player of the Year, man. Y'all know who I'm going with, man. Will Anderson Jr., man. I feel like he has definitely been showing up. He's our anchor of our defense, man. He's always making a big play when we need it, and he's like the embodiment of what our Texans team is. And not only that, but he's got the numbers. He's got the sacks. He's to be up there with the top sack leaders. Obviously, nobody, I feel like, is catching Myles Garrett. He's having a crazy year, but I feel like Will Anderson Jr., he's number one defensive player on our defense, in my opinion. And I feel like that, I know your face is changing because Sting is up there. He's up there, but as far as impact, I feel like Will Anderson Jr. is that guy. And the best player on the best defense should get the award, in my opinion. But who y'all think?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna go with probably the winner of the Defensive Player of the Year award. It's gonna be hard not to give it to him because he's gonna break the record. But Myles Garrett, man, he's having an unbelievable season. Even though that Cleveland is bad this year, he's having an unbelievable season. I believe now he is one sack away from breaking the record, which is inevitable that he's gonna get it, especially with the type of season that he's been having, man. So shout out to Myles Garrett, man. I definitely think he's going to be Defensive Player of the Year, and that will be my candidate I'm going to present to y'all today, Myles Garrett for Defensive Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. I definitely think this is the Myles Garrett Award this year for sure, but, Bryce did have a great candidate. I think you can also, throw Sting in there. You can throw Danielle Hunter in there. You can throw a couple more crash outs we got on there, Lassiter and Bullock, just that whole Texas defense, bro. You pick it, like put the name in the hat, pick it out the hat. We should be one of them guys that ain't Myles Garrett. But, if we gotta get another candidate, I guess we can go one of the Denver guys. They have a great defense over there as well. So I just throw out top five sack leader right now, and Nick Benito, one of the best linebackers in the team, if not the best linebacker in the league right now. He's having an unbelievable season. The anchor of that defense, and just he's doing his job, bro, and he's doing it well, bro. So that'll be the last candidate for the deep.
Yeah, I think those are great picks as well. Now it's time to get to our Coach of the Year. For my Coach of the Year so far, I would definitely say, I'm gonna go ahead and say Mike Tomlin. I feel like they have definitely put together a decent comeback season, in my opinion. Because I feel like coming off last year, they didn't go as far as I feel like they was gonna go. But, they put it together, man. They done some things. And earlier in this year, I've actually called out the Steelers. I said, they ain't going to do nothing. And they haven't really put nothing together and haven't really moved themselves up to higher heights. And I feel like they kind of answered the call in recent weeks. So I'm going to give a shout out to Mike Tomlin, man. He's a black coach. So, got to respect that for sure. And I hope he keep his position. But who y'all got?
Hey, man. Hey, boy. We just were calling, asking if Mike Tomlin was going to lose his job, man. But, hey, man, I'm going with my former coach, man, Nick Benito's coach, bro. Sean Payton. I knew this was coming inevitably, that he was going to turn this thing around in Denver because that's what he does. I watched it firsthand in New Orleans, and he's doing great with that team over there. That defense is playing lights out. I think that the defensive coordinator is going to be getting a look at head coach sometime in the near future. The offense is the offense. We know that's Sean Payton's strong suit. He got Bo Nix playing good ball this year. I think that Bo Nix is taking that next step into being an elite quarterback. And I just think, Sean's doing his thing out there. Got them boys sitting atop the AFC right now at 12-2, I believe. And so right now it's looking like everything's going to go through Denver. And in 2 or 3 years' time, he got that thing turned around. Everybody thought he was kind of crazy for taking that cap hit, letting go Russell Wilson, but he knew he had a plan in mind to get that thing turned around. And here we are sitting here today, the number one team in the AFC. So shouts out to him, bro. I definitely think that he's gonna be the my pick for Coach of the Year for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely your pick, my brother. I do like Bryce's pick, as a former brother. I never called Mike.
Wait. Former brother. He's still a brother.
Fellow brother. My fault. I messed up my else right there. But at time now, I feel like he always, getting the scrutiny for the Steelers, horrible play. But he got you a winning season for the last 10 years, bro. I feel like consistency is key. I get there, I want to be complacent, but like it's only so much that he can do. So shout out to Tomlin, shout out to Sean Payton as well. My candidate probably, go to the best team in the league right now, in the Houston Texans.
Oh my God.
That what D'Amico Ryans got them boys out there doing, man, on that defense swarming around, it's unbelievable, brother. So that's gonna go my coach of the year. And I know Braxton might want to agree with that.
The bias oozing from Eddie.
I will say this though. He did bring him saying that is not crazy. Think about it. They was 0-3. And now they in a position to be a top team, or not a top team, but in the playoffs at least. 6 straight wins, like he put
straight is crazy, John. Y'all ain't never did that.
But I will say, hold on, I will say this though. We are leaving out a huge name. Man, Sean McVay gotta be in there. They 11-3. The Rams, they're a top team right now. So we gotta give them some credit.
You don't got to.
But moving forward, man, it's that time of the year, man. The transfer portal is open, and the players is on the move, man. What's some moves y'all looking forward to, and what y'all think about the transfer portal?
We already seen some big name quarterbacks go into that portal. One being DJ Lagway. It's some other guys, man. I'm missing. I know Leonard's still staying in school. Who you said?
Dylan Raiola.
Yeah. Raiola's leaving. DJ Lagway's leaving. They got a couple other guys out there. They already said Arch and Leonard Sellers are staying at school, but LSU is in the gonna be in the portal looking for a quarterback next season. I would not be mad if we go get Lagway. Just for the simple fact is, he has the potential there. I see Lane could work with him potentially. And I kind of see like he would fit that offense great, because we definitely need a quarterback that's going to be able to use his legs. I'm not going through that another season of that again, where we got a quarterback that can't get out of his own way, bro. So
yes,
I definitely think that's going to have to be a need when we're going into the portal. If Trinidad is not there, if Trinidad is able to come back for another season, I definitely think that Lane's going to go get him just because of the familiarity with him. And so if Trinidad's not there, I would definitely say DJ Lagway could potentially be a target for LSU. Either that, and I know y'all gonna frown down on this, but or Bryce Underwood if he comes available. Honestly, bro, I know y'all say y'all don't like that, but I just feel like the system that they ran in Michigan did not fit his skill set, bro. Like they had him under center playing like a pro style offense, and I don't really think that's what he is. I think he's more of a spread type quarterback that could use his legs when need be and kind of spread the ball around a little bit with his arm. And they didn't have the playmakers in Michigan to do that, and they ran that pro style offense. So I could kind of see potential from Bryce in there. So I wouldn't be opposed to that either. But my first choice would be Lagway.
Nah, bro. Your first two choices I disagree with wholeheartedly. First of all, with Lagway, I don't want no quarterback that do 5 interceptions on my team. I know it's against the best defense in the country, but still, bro, the decision making is crazy, and I feel like since they've been talking about DJ and all this potential, it's like, where is it? Like, we see the Spurs, but like, it's the same thing every year. So I feel like I don't want to deal with that, and what he can do with LSU, I don't want to go through that, and I don't really have to. He come here, Lane Kiffin is like his project. I don't know. I don't want to do that whole debacle. But I know you like that word, right? Yeah. With Tameless, I don't want him either, but I feel like he already comfortable with Lane Kiffin, so I'm okay with that. But the quarterback I want definitely not Bryce because he ain't want to come to SF first. So I understand you took your money, go there, so stay with that problem, bro. We don't want you no more. I know I don't. But I would like to go. I'll say get Raiola, bro, because he can throw the ball, bro. I know he might not be as mobile as y'all like, but he can still run the ball. He do like the best quarterback in the league. So if you got that kind of mindset and you want to be like Mahomes, why not? I feel like that's a great mentality to have. You want to be like the best, so you want to be the best. So I can work with that, and I feel like Lane Kiffin could too.
Here's my only pushback about Raiola. He's coming off a major leg injury, so the chances of him being able to go and be the quarterback that we're accustomed to seeing, like he just gonna jump right back into action next year, is slim to none. And so I feel like we gotta have a quarterback that's gonna be able to go. I'm cool with a project, especially a quarterback that could come in and be there during spring ball and throughout the summer and to learn the offense and have Lane pick his brain each and every day to try to get him better, instead of a quarterback that ain't gonna be ready for next season. Because Raiola, in my opinion, is not gonna be ready to play next season.
I don't know. We seen quarterbacks, we seen players get hurt and come back from worse and still look better. But to your point, as you want to see like the project, I feel like, bro, y'all first of all, y'all the type of people that y'all want to see the project, and then when they come out and they play horrible, you like, bro,
the project, because Nuss was not a project. That's what
Van Buren, y'all talking about him. Y'all want to see y'all. He wasn't answering.
First of all, it was what we had to work with.
That's fine. That's what you saying. You want to know, bro? I feel like
he wasn't a project. It ain't like we bought him in. It wasn't like we bought him in.
At this point, I think we should go get a recruit, bro. Just go get you a top recruit out of high school, bro, and work with them, bro. Because I feel like right now the transfer ain't nothing in the transfer portal besides them guys already proven, bro. And I don't think it's much more.
You're talking about having championship expectations for LSU next year, but you want to go get a recruit. That's the same thing as working on.
You can go get one of them guys, but bro, you got it, bro. The expectations of it, you're not gonna expect that offense to be looking as great as you want. And I know our expectations are high, but y'all the first to blame the QB and then blame the coach, bro. So I know that's the issue first.
What you think?
Well, I will address one of your latter picks, John. Bryce Underwood. Don't even think about it, bro. We don't want you. You're not coming here. You already let me down once. I don't want you again. Hey, man. Hey, we don't want it. But moving forward, everybody else that y'all said, I could see being potentially on this team. I wouldn't be mad at Dylan Raiola. I think he's a decent quarterback. The only thing, like John said, is the injury. But me personally, my pick, I hope Trinidad Chambliss is on his way. I think I want to get Lane as comfortable as he can be, and he knows he's comfortable with that quarterback. As far as bringing in a recruit, that ain't what I brought Lane here to do, though. Like, I ain't bringing him here to bring up a quarterback. I brought him here to win a championship, and I don't think that's going to bring us any closer, is him bringing in a recruit to win it and try to do it that way. So, I don't know, man. I don't know who we're going to get, but as long as it's somebody who Lane wants and I think that can make this offense good, hey, I'm all for it.
All right, y'all, time for the best part of the show, the Black Spotlight, man. I'll kick it off this week. For my Black Spotlight, I'm going to go with the Division 6A, top school in the league, the Northeast side, alum, none other than Seed King, man. It's been a long time coming. For the first time in history, in school history, Seed King will be playing in the state championship. I just want to give a huge shout out to the organization, man. It's been a long time coming. I'm just happy to see it, man. These guys have been working their tails off, bro. We've been building this thing for a long time. The class before me, my class after me to now, bro. It's been a long time, and just seeing us go. I'm not saying we just want to make it there. We here, so we might as well win, So I feel like this is a huge accomplishment for us in the city. So definitely want to see them boys go ahead and finish the job and get it done on Saturday. We will play DeSoto, another great team in Texas. So it's Dallas versus Houston, and then we got North Shore versus Duncanville. So Dallas versus Houston 2 ways. So like we both need to get it done. I feel like Sugar get it done on the end. So I feel like we got to come on and pull our strength, man. Go ahead and get it done on our end. So shout out to C King, man. Finish the job, bro. Finish the job, y'all. I'm proud of y'all, boys. Finish the job, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out to them boys, man. Shout out to them boys, C King. That's coming from a Summerwood native and Eddie right
Whoa.
to the boy.
Whoa, stop it. I'm from Houston, brother.
Hey, man, but this week, my black spotlight is going out to my dog, Divine Vele, man. We picked him up from Houston in a trade this season. Sean Payton loved the guy. He said that we would love him, and he was an Iron Man. Ever since we shipped Rashid Shaheed on his way to Seattle, Divine Vele has been showing up big for us, particularly in the last 3 games versus the Dolphins, the Panthers, and the Bucks, man. And so I'm excited to see what he can do for us moving forward into next year. I definitely think that he's going to be a key piece on this offense moving forward. And I'm just shout out to him, bro. He's been doing this thing, and glad to have you here, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Devon Vele definitely has been doing his thing. That's a good pick, man. And my black spotlight this week is Texans running back Jawar Jordan. This is his first time really getting NFL action, and he definitely performed in a great way. I mean, I feel like stepping in, getting 100 yards, man, that's the type of stuff that you want to see for the Texans. And, giving Woody Marks a chance to, take a break. He's been kind of bruised and battered every game going down. And, we never would have seen this spark had he not gone down, which is something that I think, my Texans need to address. But coming in, making the most of your opportunity, making the most of your ops, man, that's what you want to see out of a player coming in. So shout out to him, man. That's my black spotlight.
You said making the most out of your ops. We got ops on the Texas side, bro.
But hey, man, every team you play is an op, man.
You right.
I feel that, man. Great black spotlights, fellas. That's all we got for y'all this week, man. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to the podcast on YouTube, bro. We appreciate y'all every week for tuning in to us, man. And until next week, man, from the guy from me, from Brack, and the guy from Summerwood, bro. We out, man, and y'all stay blessed. Welcome to the world of sports, baby.